Welcome on this free training on divine business clarity. Have you ever felt that God has placed you a powerful calling in your heart, a message, a gift, an expertise or a skill for you to serve others, but you always struggle to turn that into a powerful business that works for you? You're not alone, and that's the purpose of this training here. I'm Bruno Genovese. I'm a Christian business mentor, and I specialize in helping Christian entrepreneurs, CEOs, and founders turn their calling into services that really resonate with their audience. And in that process, find peace and prosperity. And that's where clarity comes in, divine business clarity, as I call it. And clarity is so important because it is the foundation of business success. Everything starts with the clarity. And you get that right, and when you align with God's calling for your life and for your business, then everything flows, everything changes, and you become magnetic. Your impact multiplies, and that confusion of who am I, what I offer, who I serve, all of that gets clarified, and that's the purpose of this training today. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna share with you some thoughts on how to achieve that clarity in business, and at the end I'm gonna make you an offer on how to go even deeper in that exercise. Okay. But let's start with the problem. Let's really define what we're trying to solve here. Do you feel a calling for something greater, but you struggle to define exactly how a business would look like? Do you feel overwhelmed with lots of ideas, but you're not sure which one God actually wants you to pursue? Do you find yourself, comparing your journey to others and wondering, if the paths of other people seems clear? Are you constantly shifting your products, your marketing, your offers, your message, but nothing is feeling quite right? I see this pattern all the time, with the other Christian leaders and business people that I mentor, right? They have talents, they have gifts, they have a real passion, they have a heart for service, but they're missing this crucial element, which is the divine clarity. So at the end of this training, you're gonna end up with, an offer that everybody wants to buy. You're going to be working with clients that resonate with you, and they're not all clients, but your segment, your niche, and they're going to be willing to work with you. And you're going to be clear on the plan that you're going to pursue. Okay. That's the plan for today. And a little bit more about my story, so you can get to know a little bit more about me first. I actually built my career in banking many years, about over nearly 20 years, but always on the retail space, product proposition, marketing, innovation. Was very successful in my career, but I always had a feeling for something different, right? I always had a calling of having my own business, serving others in different ways. So even though I was very successful in my career as an executive, I always had a calling for more, but I always lacked that clarity, right, on how, what to do and what to pursue. But that's where I went further into that journey, and I finally made the leap to become an entrepreneur. So I launched a digital marketing agency about 7 years ago, together with my partner, and we clarified our offer, we clarified our service, we clarified who we wanted to serve, and we did really well over the next 5 years or so. We actually scaled and sold the business eventually, which was a big win. But in my career as an entrepreneur, then I had a new calling, right? And it's very often that in your life you're going to see new seasons. So I had a new season where even as an entrepreneur, I wasn't satisfied anymore, and I had a calling for more. And I had this calling to become a mentor myself and help other people to find their passion, find their calling, and find the clarity that they need to turn their passion and the expertise into a successful business. And that's what I do today as a mentor. Okay. So yes, let's turn confusion and frustration into clarity, and let's get some clients, some success. That's the purpose of the training today. So let's start with the main framework, okay? And this is not a spiritual concept. This framework that I'm going to tell you is actually, a practical business advantage, right? When you align the key concepts and when you align what we see, the who, the what, and the how, then things will start to flow, okay? So first part of our framework is the who, right? Your who has to be specific and has to be magnetic. And what I mean by who is who you're called to serve. You are not called to serve everyone, right? Even Jesus, right? Jesus was not called to serve everyone. He was called to serve the lost sheep of Israel. And Paul, on the other hand, was called to spread the word to the Gentiles. So it's so important that you clarify who you're called to serve, what is your niche, um, who is it that you feel most compelled to help through your skills, your expertise, through your story. And I see many entrepreneurs not being clear about the who, right? And it's so important that you clarify um, not just the target customers, which is the typical business concept, but connecting with God and clarifying who is it that God is calling you and preparing you to serve in a powerful way. When I started as a mentor, I was serving many different people, in business and services across different geographies until I really, went deeper on my who and I clarified my specific niche, my specific geography, my specific moments that my target audience were, and also what are the problems and desires that my target audience have that I could uniquely serve with my expertise. And then things started to flow. So number one is the who, right? Number two is the how, right? And how is what makes you distinctively compelling, right? And it becomes, and it's something that it should be natural to you, right? That is distinctive because it's unique. So you're not going to try to copy others in the how you deliver your service, how you deliver your products. You need to connect to your authentic, skills, expertise, story, and it's not about creating new frameworks, new methodologies. No, it is about you already recognizing the gifts, the experiences, and the story that you have. That will be a powerful way for you to transform the lives of others through your business. So it's already part of your DNA. So get into that authentic how, that authentic DNA, that authentic skills and talents that you already have is the second part of the framework and is so important. And the third one is the what, right? When you clarify the what, you become incredibly valuable. And the what is what you deliver to others. I see lots of business where, they develop a service, they develop a product, and then they try to find clients, right? That's the other way around. The right way is for you to understand the problems, the pains and the desires that your audience have, and then you define what you do in a way that really solves that problems or deliver that transformation. So that what must be super clear, what you help, what you serve, what transformation you offer, what value you deliver. That the what must be super, super clear. And again, connecting to your skills, connecting to your story. That's how you're gonna make that unique, authentic, and also aligned to God's calling on what you're called to serve. Okay. So that's the initial framework that I wanted to share with you, the who, the how, and the what. But now let's do a quick exercise to see if you got it. So grab a pen and paper and let's see if you can jot down some notes now because I like being practical. So pick a notepad and let's first column write who, right? So who do you feel most drawn to help? Who perhaps naturally seeks your support already, right? And who in the past, have you been able to guide and help? So just don't overthink it. Just write a few notes on this who, right? Who is the audience? Who is the niche? Who's the segment? that you're drawn to help and make it as specific as possible. Okay, so write a few notes there. Now, second column, the how, right? What approach or methods, comes most naturally to you in your service, in your skills, in your products? What approach that is unique to you comes most natural to you? How do you prefer, to help people? Is it through a service? Is it one-to-one? Is it groups? Or is it through a product? Is it through by creating? How do you prefer to help people through your calling? And what unique combination of experience have God placed and given to you? So that's the second column. Write a few notes there. And then the third column is the what, right? So what transformation do you help people achieve? What problems are you passionate about solving? What pain points and desires you help people achieve or solve? Think about going from point A to B, ideally, especially if you've done this yourself, right? Just like myself, I transformed myself, my mindset, my calling, and I went from being anxious business leader to a peaceful and aligned business leader, and I'll help others do the same. So have a think about that. Perhaps you've been through a big transformation, a big journey in the past, and now you can help others do the same. So write down what is this transformation that you had, that you've done yourself, and now that you're able to help others do the same. So hopefully that mini framework, the who, the how, and the what helps you achieve some clarity for your business and bringing in God in your story and your calling into it to make it really authentic and spiritual, right, in our business, in our journey in business. But now I want to make an invitation to go deeper, right? Because there's a lot more for us to explore and for us to define in this framework. And being honest with you, what I've shared with you now is just the first step, right? To achieve a big business transformation requires a deeper journey, and it really requires you to, first of all, discern God's voice. What's God's voice and what's your own voice? Another big part of what I do and I want to help you with is to release what's not yours to carry. Sometimes, we end up carrying and trying to do too much, and a big part of success is letting go. So we need to go through that exercise. We need to build an effective business model that allows you to deliver your calling and your capacity. And most importantly, we need to move forward, being bold, in faith and courage and not fear. So I'd love to help you with that as well. And because of all of that, I created a full course called the Divine Business Clarity course. It is a transformational experience for you to complete that process of not just achieving your divine business clarity, but actually turning into reality in these steps that I just said to you in just 5 days, right? So that's the proposition here. So it's a very focused, self-paced course. So it's 5 modules, and you can complete one per day. And over 5 days, you're going to have, a real clarity about your true calling. Be crystal clear on the who, the how, and the what. So I'm going to guide you through step by step. I'm going to teach you how to learn how to focus on your 20% that deliver rather than the 80% that just keeps you busy. And I'm going to walk you through how to develop that courage, that faith to take the next step to make it a reality and finally build a business model that works for yourself, but also that brings the kingdom forward, right? So we need to align the purpose with high impact, high generosity, and high profitability. That's the way to do it. And I'm doing this course because I'd love to have had that clarity early on in my entrepreneurial journeys. I had so many false starts where I tried to do too much and was trying to serve people that I shouldn't have served. And it's all about clarity and focus, right? When you're really clear on who you want to focus and how your authentic self, your authentic offer connects to other people, you become magnetic, right? People come to you, people get it. and you become much more successful, and you actually work less rather than working more. So that's the transformation that I've been through myself, and that's how I want to help you going forward. So if that's you, and if you're interested, this course I'm giving now a promotion is only 47 pounds. I think it's about 55, $60. If you're paying in dollars, it's just for 5 days, and you can achieve that clarity. And at the end of that course as well, I even offer more support in terms of mentorship and community. So there's lots more to unpack after you finish that course. But if that's you and if that resonates, click that button below, and I'd love to see you on the inside, give you all the support that you need to achieve your clarity, find your purpose, and achieve much more peace and prosperity that God has for you. So stay strong, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye bye. God bless.